Some people say that leakers don't have feelings. I have feelings. Some people say that I am not a leaker. I am a leaker. That hurts my feelings. It hurts my feelings when you say I'm not a leaker. It has come to my attention that I've been disrespected by my very own Star Wars dad. That's not true, I thought. That's impossible, I thought. But I have searched my feelings, and I know it to be true. He claims that my leaks are fake, does he? Let's see about that.
Maclunkey.
Alright, so I have my leak checklist pulled up on the sidebar here. Let's take a shot of Malört every time he calls out one of my tunes and see if I survive the night. Does Nooch know something I don't? Probably.
Well, greetings and hello there, everyone. It is I, your beloved Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes dad, Nooch2GUD, and there are lots of rumors and
Fact check. That's true. I am subscribed.
trolls and fake leaked information flying around about the next Galactic.
Fact check. That is false. I did leak that information. You can see it. The video's on this channel. I'll try and link it in the little thing. If I can figure out how to do that.
Galactic Legend, which we all believe will be Mandalorian in some sort, maybe Mandalorian and Grogu, that type of character. And I think we'd all be really excited and satisfied to see a Galactic Legend Mando and Grogu in the game. Now, I thought it'd be fun to explore here, and then, as I mentioned, there's leaks, fake leaks going around. I think they're targeting egg.
They're not fake, and they're not targeting Eggnards. If anything, Eggnards is targeting me, and I'm a victim.
Eggnards, for those who are targeting Eggnards. Stay away from Eggnards. He hasn't done anything to you other than provide you with lots of good information. Leave the guy alone. He's just trying to live his life and be happy. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun today to explore with you guys the characters that might be required and included in a Mandalorian Galactic Legend Mandalorian farm.
That's what I thought. I thought it'd be fun to just leak this information to the public, and I got a lot of backlash for it. I did get a bunch of subscribers too, so it's cost benefits still out.
Start right here with the era characters. Of course, we know that there was kind of slipped in there that some of these New Republic characters will be required for the next Galactic Legend, which is kind of what's got us leading there toward, Mando. So we take a look at these guys like.
Yeah, I didn't read that part where they said the individual marquees would likely be required. I just assumed Rotta.
R5D4 Zeb, Captain Carson Tiva, Snow Trooper Commander, blah, blah, blah. And well, Sigourney Weaver. I can't remember her name, sorry. Sigourney Weaver.
I never remember it either. Perhaps we're not so different, you and I.
Then Grogu with the little skiff, and then finally Rotta the Hutt. Now, it'll be interesting to see.
You also mispronounce it as Rotta. So I do appreciate that also.
We've always got marquee characters required for Galactic Legends, but or
at least I think it's mispronounced. I always think it's Rhoda. Is it supposed to be Rotta?
Hearing that the Galactic Legend will be at the end of the next era, so we're looking at like
Also, I'm a little distractible right now. Shout out to my boy Greedo down there.
November. This one's gonna end May, whatever, October, November, something like that. So, will there be a whole nother era with a whole nother set of Mandalorian characters
That's what I've been preaching too. I've been saying Mandalorian Grogu is supposed to be Star Wars's grand return to form. From what I've heard in terms of feedback, it has not necessarily been that, not for lack of trying. But that's what I'm thinking, is two eras, a raid, a GL, like it's meant to be this huge simultaneous push, the likes of which we haven't seen since like the sequel days when they first introduced Galactic Legends, or a lot of the solo content that got weaved into Rise of the Empire.
Then we grab like, we'll just be like, all 12 marquees required for Galactic Legend Mando.
12 out of the 16 marquees is pretty steep, especially since one's a ship, so I guess 15.
have a nice day, get all these guys up to 7 stars in Relic 7, or we'll be mixing in some other characters as well.
But I do think that's a good point that he makes, is a lot of the obvious choices for Mandalorian and Grogu's story, they're already required either as part of other journeys or in Rise of the Empire. They're good teams in GAC. People have taken these tunes to high-level relics already. So, like, is this going to be a gimme Galactic Legend where they give us these easy requirements, or are they going to kind of introduce challenge by saying we are going real heavy on the new marquees? And also, I think lower tier relic material is so much easier to come by. We're saving so much material through the use of these new lightspeed tokens. Are they going to push for steeper requirements? Are we going to see more R9s, more R8s, even an R10 at some point? I don't know.
So we could easily see some of these characters. One other possibility, and this was kind of mentioned, I think this is actually a decent possibility, is instead of requiring all of these characters, right?
That was actually mentioned in my leak. I was one of the first people to mention that, and I did get a whole lot of flack for that one in particular.
To get the next Galactic Legend Mandalorian and Grogu, or whatever it may happen to be. What if it was just Rotta the Hutt? Rotta the Hutt's going to be right here. What if
it just makes so much sense to me. I feel like it's in some cases kind of a dick move because it does time gate the GL. So what I've thought is it makes a lot of sense for them to do it this way, but they do have to change the cadence and make those characters more easily accessible. Which, granted, even then, thinking about hate-fueled Maul, now that he's come back, he was available for like a month straight. So that might be something that they're testing for Maul and then eventually for Rotta, just to see if there is any fine-tuning that needs to happen if this is the route they're going. If I may borrow Bones's conspiracy brain for half a second here.
It was just Rotta the Hutt. Let me go get that graphic here for us. I know I've got it saved here somewhere. I should have brought it in initially for you guys to see. Here we go. I borrowed this image from the SWGH event server. So, you know, what if instead of requiring R5D4 at Relic 5 and Grogu and the little guys in their skiff at Relic 6 and then Captain Teva at Relic 7, whatever. What if it was just Rotta the Hutt at Relic 9 required, or Relic 10?
I didn't think he'd quite be that heavy, but I am going to take a shot here. Let me figure out how to update this counter while he continues on.
Required, you know, along with the next Rotta the Hutt this time, and then some marquees from the next time that are all put together. That could be really interesting. I don't know how that would happen or what it'd be.
I figured it out.
Anyway, I thought this was transparent, but it's got all these little, whatever. Anyway, thanks to SWGH Events for kind of putting these two images together here for us to use. That would be really interesting to me to kind of structure it that way. And this will be our first Galactic Legend since we've got these eras really put together in a very cohesive way. 12 weeks, 12 weeks, 12.
That's what I'm saying, Nooch. You're out here talking so much mad trash on your boy Clunky, but we're on the same wavelength, man. We're in an entirely new era of SWGO content. We need to throw away some of our previous expectations.
But, you know, etc. So I'd like to see how that goes. Now we've got, I've got some other characters here I want to take a look at. It's a broad...
This is more so what I'm curious to see. How much we overlap or how much we differ here.
Broad swath of characters that could be included in being required for Galactic Legend Mando and Grogu. And of course we start here with a bunch of Mandalorians. Bo-Katan Mandalorian.
Is that 5 shots in a row? Oh, God. All right.
Lord, now that could be a journey character that we would have required here. You know, they gave us Bo-Katan Mandalore basically with the lightspeed tokens we got. It would make all the sense in the world that, you know, since a lot of people will be unlocking Bo-Katan Mandalore, that she's required. Maybe at like a Relic 9 or 10 level, something like that. I could definitely see that. We got both Mandos here, of course. Not necessarily, you know, part of a journey like that. We saw that Princess Leia was not required for...
Oh, damn it. Paz. Wasn't supposed to take one for Paz. Oops.
Leia Organa. In fact, Princess Leia was not directly required for any of those. Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, Jabba, none of that stuff she was required for. So we could have these guys or not, both Beskar Mando and OG Mando. Paz Vizsla I would definitely see in there. Paz Vizsla had a lot of interaction with...
I disagree with Paz Vizsla. I love him as a character and it makes so much sense, but I think similar to how, and the way some people phrased it on the events server when they were talking about this leak, they were joking that, oh, Rotta ate all the other marquee requirements. Bo-Katan Mandalore also eats a lot of these requirements. And I mean, she eats Paz, she eats Bam, she eats Gogurt Robo. And I really do think Paz should be here, but I don't think he is, because I can't see them bringing him up to this elevated Relic 8, Relic 9 status. And even then, a lot of people for TB in the later game already have him at R9 when he's just a wreck at R7 for her. So that's why I thought he wouldn't be required. Bam and Grogu, I think, are still going to be required at higher relic levels, just because they're the previous iterations of the GL.
Mando, especially in season 3, was it? Season 12, all the way through, I guess. All the way through from the very beginning. Definitely could see that. IG-12 and Grogu seems like a shoo-in for me for a requirement that would be out there for a Mando and Grogu. I mean, we got IG-12 and Grogu. We got who else in Grogu? We got Beskar Mando, who has Grogu in the kit as well, or in the IG-11 has Grogu in there too, right? Right, right.
Okay, so let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I'm only going to do 4 because I accidentally did the Paz shot before. So I'm going to let him roll, and I'm going to fix my math right here real quick. I mean, I'm no Egnards. How do you expect me to count to 5?
IG-11 has Grogu in there as well, so we can see both those Grogu characters. Obviously, Grief Karga, Queel, Cara Dune, Boba Fett, Sign of Jango. Now, there is a Conquest character that nobody cares about.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
I'm sorry, Fat Boba. You certainly are descended from the scion of Jango Fett and your slave one. Congratulations.
Yeah, and I think it's time for Boba Fett, Scion of Jango, to get his due. He is a character that they could really punish some of us late game players who haven't invested in him. I do actually have him at R9 for TB. But I do think that's a character where it is this kind of pain point. They've been slowly introducing some of the older Conquest characters into GL Rex recently. And I also think it's a great chance to sell more of those Lightspeed bundles.
It's hard to keep that weight off as you get older. Trust me on that one. But look, all these can be required. Boba Fett, Sign of Jango came in season 2. Obviously, that's where he was introduced, and he got his own series, which sucked. But
I have to agree with him. Book of Boba Fett was rough. I'm a huge fan of Robert Rodriguez. I just don't know what happened there.
You could absolutely see some of these or all these guys thrown in there into the requirements for a Mandalorian Grogu. And then speaking of, Boba Fett, Sign of Jango, well, his sidekick was Fennec Shan, so...
Okay. First I guess aside from Paz, he did recommend Paz, and I didn't have Paz on there. Fennec, I did not say. I viewed her as potentially a loaned unit in some of the missions when it came to my leak. So I'm like, well, I could see her. I know one of my out there picks is Jedi Knight Luke. So I can easily take Jedi Knight Luke off, put Fennec on there, and then when it comes to the missions, instead of Fennec being a loaned unit, Jedi Master Luke be the loaned unit. I also didn't have Baby Bo, which I can see that being a potential. I just feel like they might lean more towards Bo-Katan Mandalore, because I always associate the OG Bo-Katan with her appearance in the Clone Wars. Armor, I think, is definitely going to be on there. She's not required for anything else. Jabba, I hope he explains that, because that one feels weird to me. And then Embo being one of the main villains of the new movie that hasn't come out yet. Definitely seems valid there. I don't think I took any shots. I should take 2.
Absolutely, she's already required for Jabba the Hutt. By the way, I got Jabba the Hutt here as a representation of Rotta the Hutt. I do not...
Okay, Jabba's Rotta. That's fine. That makes sense. I already did that, so we should be good at 2.
think Jabba the Hutt would be required. That's just not, we have yet to get into a situation. You never know. You never know. I don't see with this one, but if this is the case, but we have yet to get into a situation where a Galactic Legend, an earlier Galactic Legend was required for Galactic. That hasn't happened yet. Stay tuned. Stay tuned in Star Wars.
Don't tempt them. If anything, maybe in the next GL Thrawn, we could maybe see Glat as a requirement. I'm not really sure about that, but we'll see.
Wars Galaxy of Heroes, everybody. Fennec Shan could absolutely be in there, heavy in there with Boba Fett, Sign, and Django as well. Another Bo-Katan Kryz, either her or Bo-Katan Mandalore, of course. The armor, I think, would be an automatic almost. The armor was what
100%.
Who built Beskar, man, you know, all that Beskar armor. I feel like she would just be an automatic in there as a requirement. Embo is in the new movie. We've seen him repeatedly in the trailers. I haven't seen the movie yet. I'll be seeing it pretty soon with my family. Can't wait to do that. Embo could absolutely be in there as a requirement for Bo-Katan or for Beskar Mando as well. And then finally, we're working our way around the Imperial.
Okay, so that's 2, right? That's 2 more. Gideon and Dark Trooper. I didn't have like the rest of the entirety of the Imperial Remnant faction, so.
Imperial Remnant, right? Moff Gideon, Dark Trooper. I feel like those are just locks. Dark Trooper, Moff Gideon, another Conquest character that's kind of got a mediocre team. I know there's some uses. Some of you guys have found some plug and play for him, but kind of mediocre unless he gets the right Datacron. These 3 could be just locked right in there as requirements for a Mandalorian Galactic Legend. Stormtrooper, Scout Trooper. We saw the Scout Troopers initially, you know, trying to shoot Grogu in a bag and missing every.
Oh, that's a good point. If Scout Trooper wasn't already required at R7, like honestly, like one or both versions of Gideon and then Dark Trooper are like top tier. Stormtrooper, I think, is too generic. Scout Trooper already being required for Leia, I think, makes me think a little bit less on that one. But I don't know. I do kind of like that also.
Single time. There are probably other characters as well. You know, there was supposed to be, we heard back in the day, there was going to be season 4 of Mando was going to be like this overlap with the Ahsoka TV show and Thrawn.
This movie is season 4 of Mandalorian, just added it into a movie.
Everything, but they scrapped that and made this independent movie that we may or may not. You know, we don't know. Maybe we'll see Thrawn in the new movie. Maybe we'll see.
That's what we're gonna get at the end, is like a Marvel teaser. Mandalorian and Grogu will return in Avengers Endgame or Star Wars Heir to the Empire or whatever.
Some other characters we don't know are coming. We'll see something, right? We'll see something in this new movie. It should be a lot of fun when it's coming out. I'm just very curious to see how this pans out. I would imagine that very soon, sometime in the near future, we're going to get the announcement about the next Galactic Legend. Well, maybe it might be a little far off if we got these 12 weeks.
They're waiting for the movie to come out because they don't want to spoil it. Oops, shoot. Don't look at that.
Eras, we might have to wait till the end of this era before they even announce that next Galactic Legend, and maybe we're all wrong. Maybe it's something completely different. I don't think so. I think it's going to be Mandalorian or Mandalorian and Grogu, and these are a lot of the characters. If I've missed anybody here, I don't need to go in depth here. You know, we're total speculation.
I don't think you missed anyone. I think your video included like just about everyone who's in the game that's been even just on the Mandalorian TV show. I think the only one you missed is probably like Luke Skywalker, and like that's literally it. I mean, I can open up my game over here and just go and see, but like I guess no, Hera wasn't in that one. Oh, Ahsoka, like Fulcrum or Glat, and Luke. Let's see. Oh, oh, B2 battle droid. They killed his parents. Spoiler, sorry. I don't know, Gamorrean guard, I guess, was also there. Maybe some of the Tusken Tusken Raiders. Oh, Pelimoto slept with a Jawa. But I think you got just about everybody.
Just have a little bit of fun taking a look at who might be required. If I missed anybody, I've tried to think through it and think of all the characters that Mando came across. I mean, you've got maybe the mechanic lady who is supposed to be really funny, but is kind of just...
She's not in the game yet until the next era.
Just annoying. You've got her. Maybe some of those pirates could be in there. You know, you've got like...
Oh shit, Vane. Vane was friends with the green guy for a little while.
Vane looks like some of those pilots they've had. Maybe you get that...
No, he doesn't look like that's literally him. He had a cameo or whatever.
Big green pirate that piloted the big capital. I don't know.
Yeah,
there could be other characters in there as well, but these are the ones that in the game right now that came across that made some sense to me. I do think it is an entire possibility that we could be looking at. This would be really interesting. Instead of requiring these air units, Rotta the Hutt required, which makes you get all...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It reduces a lot of the bloat, and it still makes you required to have all of these people at Relic 6.
These guys, and then you would have to get 5 of the era characters or something from the next era, right? And that those 5 leads you to the Galactic Legend, and then there's like 5 or 6 other characters, maybe even the Razor Crest. Mix it.
Oh, the Razor Crest! I forgot about the ship. Well, he didn't say Luke, so this is going to be the last one. Cheers.
That Razor Crest seems like a gimme. Well, we've had some gimme ships along the way. I'll take a gimme. I'll take a gimme.
Most of the ships are gimmies at this point.
You won't catch me fighting that. That's better than a stick in the...
They don't release new they don't release new ships that often for the ships to not be a gimme.
Every day. Anyway, what do you guys think? What am I missing here? What do you guys think will be required for that legendary, what we assume to be Mandalorian or Mandalorian Grogu when we come up to the end of the next era? Love to hear from you guys. Hey, have a great day. Go out there and check out my new Lightspeed token farming guide.
Yeah, go check out his farming guide. I think he did a pretty good job of making predictions for what this era is going to look like. And I'm not just saying that because 99% of his predictions were also my predictions. So I will say, I think the only thing we really disagreed on was whether or not my leaks were fake. So I'm just going to close this video by saying thank you so much for agreeing with me, Mr. Nooch. I hope that we can collaborate in a more effective way next time. And also, we beat you in Territory Wars. I'm going to go throw up.